Hello YouTube, Damien here and welcome to episode 34 of The Story, The Journeyman with a Twist. And today, of course, we're with Genk and it is the start of the transfer window. As you can see on our screen on the right hand side with pending transfers and available payrolls, etc, etc, you can see kind of what's been going on and what's kind of in the pipelines or what could happen indeed. Since we've last met though, not much has changed. I've gone and got through my World Cup qualifying group. We will actually have some international football coming as part of YouTube because we've now got the final stage group and we definitely got the harder of the two group draws. Japan getting Iraq, South Korea, Uzbekistan, Thailand and Syria. Apart from Iraq, Japan should top that group by winning every other game. And then we've got Iran, Saudi Arabia, UAE, China, Qatar all fighting for spots where if any of these two sides are in here, we've got an even mix of really good sides. Every one of these final group stage B games could be quite interesting. I think Qatar are going to be a bit of the whooping boys, but China, UAE, Saudi Arabia and Iran, especially away, are going to be quite difficult. Anyhow, that is not where we're focusing our attention to. Our attention's being focused here and what we're doing as part of Genk and how we're rebuilding the squad. We actually have a few transfer offers to talk about here first. Louis been made an offer or two, which is great because I am planning on selling. 2.8 from Midtjylland. And Norwich have made an even bigger bid of 3.2. So we're just going to accept the Midtjylland, the Norwich bid and reject. Midtjylland's bid's not bad. It's 2.8 and a little bit more up front. I'm happy with both just to get the wage off. That's what I would do. Now, you might see some people here going, oh, hello, Damien, who are these? Yes, we're trialling in Florenzi. Yes, that might be a little bit interesting. He still looks unbelievably good. This guy for a season in the Champions League / Europa League and in the league, thank you very much. Now, on top of that, we have made a couple of signings as well, but we will mention the rejected bid here for Van der Voort. 13 mil, 26 over time. Fulham actually are negotiated a bid of over 30-something million with 20-something, about 21 or 22 up front. I've decided to reject it, and then Fulham kept asking for his release fee of 60. Van der Voort, ladies and gentlemen, wanted by Real Madrid. I'm telling you right now, if Madrid meet his release fee, see you later. If Madrid give me about 35 to 40 mil up front, I know he is the best keeper in Belgium. I know he's Belgium as well, obviously, and he counts as a homegrown in the league, etc. If we got 50 mil for him, the things we could do with 50 mil here at Genk could be quite extraordinary. So I'm just going to give you a heads up very early on that he may go in this episode because we may get the 60 mil from Madrid. And even not, forget 50, I'm probably selling. On top of that one there is some changes to the team, and I'll tell you why there are. First thing is Aziz has got a couple of bids, and I've taken both from Leeds and PSV, both equaling 8 and 7.5 or 9 mil up front with a mil or mil 0.25 over time to give me 10 mil worth of agreed value. On top of that there as well, I do get 20-30% of the profit. It doesn't really bother me. It's good money to have. You know, we get 80% of that. It gets a little bit of payroll budget out. And just notice Aziz is only on 4K, and that's about to become super duper important. Why, you may ask? Because we've already made a replacement signing for him. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're going to know exactly who that replacement signing is. It's Eric Barley from Man United. Eric Barley. He is unbelievable. And I tell you what, our coaches do not understand a thing about football because apparently his roles and duties is unreal. He is by far the best physical centre-back we have in the league. By far got the best tackling and marking by far at the club. And he's got natural positioning and he just knows what he's doing. He does lack a little bit mentally. It does not bother me. But as you can see here, apparently he's only a 3-star player with Katanach and Sadak ahead of him. He was on 85k a week at Man United. He's come here for 5.75k as a fringe player. Just compare him to Aziz for you. And as much as I do love a little bit of Aziz, you're going for that price, buddy. What's Aziz's last name? I can't remember Aziz's last name now. Aziz. So many players to look through. How about we just go back here, go to Aziz. It was Oyu, so it was a fair way down the list, and compare him with Eric Bailly. And just, yeah. Aziz may have him slightly in the air. Bailly has him everywhere else. So Eric, the man, the mountain, at 6'2" is in. I still don't believe the game reckons he's not our best player, which is ludicrous, but it is what it is. We go to the league table and season preview. I'm very interested to see if he's in the side as our best side. Apparently not. Katanach getting in the best side though. And they reckon Catanach and Barley with Sadiq going out wide right. I just don't want to do that because as much as he's pretty good, he's pretty nailed on through there as well. And then use Eric Bailly as the third choice as well. And I know that means that we probably don't have enough homegrown talent on the bench, but then you got Sadiq and Catanach developing, playing, having a partnership, and then have Eric Bailly to come on or play in Europe. That is pretty awesome. On top of that, the board are pretty happy with under 23 players. So when I say Florenzi is coming in, I'm going to just outright reject this because no, Peter Simpson's one of my lads. I'm going to outright reject the Simpson one. I'm just going to see what Florenzi looks with you guys live at the moment. We're of course live on stream. Links are down below. Come follow us live on Twitch to come and interact. But as you can see, Florenzi is still a star player and he's extremely interested. He's a leading player. He's as good as Sadiq, but signing him is going to be like, well, thank you very much. You've just sorted out your right back spot. And I have a left back coming in too. All the work being done. Francisco Machado is under 23, which will keep the board happy. And just look at him. He's so well-rounded. Benfica want him on the cheap. You know, I've made my bid of a mil plus, you know, it's a mil plus a little bit of clauses. It's like 275k. And then on top of that, we obviously go out to 2 mil. So Francisco Machado coming in as the left back is awesome. And then, you know, let's just go in and have a look what Florenzi wants for a contract. Wants to be a star player, wants to win a domestic cup. I do too. He only wants 14k a week. Florenzi only wants 14k a week. That is as easy as you like. He's also got 16 natural fitness, so the decline in stats ain't going to be much. And we've got arguably the best right back, right wing back in the league coming in. And it allows me just to do so much with that as well. It allows me to get rid of Minoz, or it allows me to get rid of Ruben Penna, or both, and then have Papini learning off Florenzi and having that younger backup side that I would like to have. Now, what I am going to do here, YouTube, is now I'm going to end this part of the episode. But you have got Eric Barley confirmed, Aziz is leaving, and now all we need to do is see if Florenzi comes in. Now, Florenzi comes in and Machado come in. We've then got ourselves our starting 11, and we've got ourselves a bench. And on that bench, we are going to go with what I said from last year. We are going to go a bit younger. And hopefully, going a bit younger might just allow us to build upon our, you know, our side and allow us to get a little bit better and obviously allow for the growth as well and keep the board happy. But more importantly, it may allow us to buy one more over 23 age player and maybe build really a good enough side to make it maybe at the group stage of the Champions League. Hey, let's dream. Why not? But until then, YouTube, I'll see you guys in a second. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, YouTube. Here we are in the middle of episode 34. And as you can tell, a brand new day. And we have a few things to talk about. We've had the league starts. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the players that I've missed out on, the one position that we need to sign, and of course the sales, and there's more money on its way out as well. And we've really turned the club's finances around. Not saying they were in poor finances, just transfer budget-wise, you know. We only started with 5 mil that we could spend. I've spent money, and we have 22 mil still in the bank to spend as well. And we've got one position that we definitely need. Now, in terms of the club vision, they're happy with me in terms of under 23 players because we have signed a few, which kind of gives me the scope that I could probably sign an over 23 player for this position. But we'll get to that one there in a second because I would like to sign anyone that's 21 to 23 that's particularly good, I would like to sign, and we'll go from there. Now, in terms of the transfers that we have made, and there is money coming out as well, we're going to start on the outs, and we've made 25.5 mil. Big one of that was Aziz, and that was 8 mil up front. Look, clearly good enough to be around, but you guys have seen that Eric Barley has come in, so there you are. Ortega went for 7 mil. Out of the two options, Gertlot actually counts as being homegrown in Belgium, which is great for the bench. So as much as this guy is probably the better of the two backup fullbacks, Ortega's on his way out for 7 mil. Abigail did his job, the Frenchman, but to give him off to Copenhagen for 3 mil, get the wage off is great. As you can see, Lewis Apinda left. He barely played for me. He would be decent, but he kicked up a fuss 3 weeks into me being here. So yeah, Penna left for 1 mil as well. And then the rest these guys don't know much about. Mike Goddess, we decided to loan out, even though he's particularly good. Now, you've seen my ins. Eric Barley, you've seen, you may or may not have seen Machado. I can't remember if I showed him last night on stream. But yeah, 5'11", 19 years of age, definitely a wing back on attack, and going to play for me. I just think that growth there is quite wrong. He's going to come in. He's looked good in his couple of league games that he has played. Hasn't got an assist, but that's fine. I just think if he plays week in, week out in our great facilities that we have here at Genk, this guy at 21, 22 is going to be quite the left back. The only thing that lacks for him as a wing back, bombing up and down, is probably the passing ability, the marking as well, which is probably the defensive side of it. For me, he's very good going forward. I'm currently working on his quickness because I'd like to see that get up. And then when they get to 14, we're going to just work a ton on his ability to defend. But I think in our aggressive system, he fits quite well. But the big one for us is Florenzi has come and he's taken a wage cut for only 14k. So the fact that we've got two guys on a free and a starting left back for a mil gives me lots of scope to sign one position, and that position is out here on the right-hand side. My goal, which I did mention, but I'll mention again, is to have a very young reserve side. But what I want to have Decker off the bench, 17 acceleration and pace, bombing off the bench. Thank you very much. I want to have Owen, who's had to start. We'll speak about that in a second with the league form. I want Owen off the bench. I want to be able to bring those two on 70th minute tired defenses, two guys that are absolutely rapid, can run, can finish, can do what they want. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to see happen. I want these guys to come in and do the job. And if I ever move to false nine, Owen can play that as well. Apart from that, the rest of the team looks pretty good. Now, if I pick my team as it should be as of right now, that's the team. And we've had the Olympics. So Frank has been away with the Olympics. We've also had Jerkload away for the Olympics as well. A few guys being injured. So Ruben Chavez hasn't played a minute. Definitely going to be playing a lot more minutes this year because I think he's going to be quite the young kid. We're in a not bad spot. If you notice the time, our first friendly and our first game, I didn't realise that the Belgium League starts in July. It literally starts on my sister's birthday, the 27th of July. So my pre-season was kind of thrown together, unfit against Anderlecht. So as much as we've won both games, we have not played well. We played Lommel SK, and yeah, what was I going to say? It wasn't particularly great. We didn't dominate. We had a bit more of the ball, but the goals were a bit whatever. In the end, Florenzi getting his first assist for the club, Barley getting his first goal for the club on debut because they're both at the start because Kadinic was suspended for this one as well. They made it 1-1 with a great finish. Van der Beek can't do much about that. And then in the end, we eventually score. But even then, we won the next game 1-0 when, the ball movement just last year, the 43 one was really purring. That's obviously a great goal. Good to have Paulie scoring. But I expected to go into these two games and go, you know what, two easy games to start the league. We're much the better side. We should go out there and pump them. Saying that, we did have 2.5 XG, so maybe we're being a little bit harsh on this game. But in the end, it was a pen that we needed. So without the pen, that's a 0-0. And without the set piece, that's a 1-1. Maybe we don't have Franco. The boys aren't 100% match fit. As you can tell from in here, they're starting to get match fit. I just think I expected it to be a bit better. I expected it to have a couple of signings that make us a little bit better. Off we go. But I guess the big thing out of that is we kept one clean sheet, we won both games, and we're still not at 100%. We're not 100% match fit, and I don't have 100% of my team in. Now, the big thing that I want to do is have Owen go into there, Big Ken come out and sign a right winger. Inside forward or inverted winger on attack, that would be fine. And let me just go through the list that we have missed out on. The big one that we missed out on here in terms of that as well is Kang In Lee was going to come in. Instead, I bid for him, had a contract accepted for 6.5, and then Sampdoria came in for 6.25, and he decided to go to Sampdoria, who finished last year 10th in Italy with no continental competitions. So I was paying him same amount of money that he's on there, from Malroca to there. Well, actually, to be fair, I think I had him on 30, so he's getting a little bit more money. But look at him. He would have been perfect. Inverted winger on attack, because I do want to have a little bit more creativity on that side, and then get Decker on to go out fruits. Was kind of the plan. He would have been perfect. Didn't happen. Next one that we kind of went for as well was Rooney. And Rooney has ended up staying at Copenhagen. And the main reason for that is he has a 9.4 mil release fee. His updated scout report was telling me that he wanted only 20 to 30k. Inter are interested in him. I don't know if they still are. They are. Because of that, he keeps asking for 60 to 70k. Can't pay him that because the board won't let me. He would come in and be an inside forward. Now, I have had some success with right-footed inside forwards because they sit so narrow. There's a couple of guys I want to speak about that we could go for here in our list as well. Now, if I wanted to go with a guy that's under 23, I think Miguel fits. He's a bit more creative. He's definitely an inverted winger, as you can see here on attack. 19, 14 dribbling, first touch passing, 14 vision. They're all going to get there. Pretty good physicals as well. So for me, there's a kid there that I'm like, yeah, okay, you would do the business. I don't want to sign him to be a backup to Chavis, and I kind of want someone ready-made. We're in the Champions League, someone ready-made to kill the league and have Chavis off the bench when I need him to, if he needs to fill in for a game, right? It's kind of the way I want to go. Romildo I love, but there's no way for me to play him. He's quick, he's nippy, he's whatever. He's got a lot of 10s. But if I'm going to go for an 18-year-old, I want a true, proper wonder kid that's ready at the level, hard to find. So yet again, I don't want to go for Romildo, even though I think he's good. I don't want to go for Miguel. Then there's Liam Kemp, and they only want a loan of 70% of his wage. And yes, inside forward on attack as a right footer, thank you very much, 5'9". Only problem is when you go to make that loan, Arsenal always want to... Wow, okay. I'm just going to put it out there right now. Arsenal have been saying that they wanted, last night, they wanted his wage, but they wanted 150k per week. 300k if he does not play, per month, costing me about 2 to 3 mil to get him in. We're getting him in. Liam Kemp's in. See you later. Thank you very much. On the right, regular starter. Liam Kemp is going to be your new inside forward. That was easy sorted. Just have a look at him. At 19, wonder kid, comes in, good first touch, great ability, good physicals, pace. As an inside forward, that's as good as you would like it to see. He likes to beat the offside trap. And if we wanted to, could play him through the 9 as well. Good backup there. More importantly, he is better than what we've got out there. Lastly, on top of that, there is a guy that I would have went for. And in terms of having a little bit of older statesmen, and that would have been Barley or Mbolo. Wrong one. The one that's at Mönchengladbach. It would have been the one that I would have went for on that side there. 27 at the minute, so... Why not Mönchengladbach? I thought I spelled that right, maybe I didn't. But he's available for 3 to 7 mil, and I think he's fantastic, so... I would go for him, but there's a few guys on this list, like David Brooks, another one, probably a bit too expensive for us. Nicolo Lopez, very experienced, but at 30, I probably don't want to go that old. But, there's a lot of guys on this list that are, like, really good. Idrissa at Rangers. Savio's being scouted for me if I go to my scout list as well. There's a bit of Savio. There he is. Mbalo. 6'2", can replace Papapoli up front. More importantly, I think this guy as an inside forward on attack is like backstick headers, 6'2". I've got the flair, determination, and the ability to do what I need to do. Thank you very much. 3.7 to 7 mil. I would bring him in and let him play. Only problem is that if I bring him in and let him play, and I bring in the loanee that we have coming in here as well in Liam Kemp, then I don't know what you do. And if you look at both to them, Mbalo's a lot better. He's got better mentals, better in the air, better vision. But Kemp's a good youngster to have. I think you take Ken, because Ken would probably play as the backup on that side and allow Joel Decker to probably play through the middle as a different sort of false nining or pressing forward on attack. We'd probably play him as a false nine to be fair to Decker. If I was then to do that, I'd have Joel Decker playing either off the bench or up front. What would I do? Now, this is getting a bit wordy here, YouTube, but I do apologise. But it's because we might play Liam Kemp in there. Liam Kemp up top. It's a false nine. It's a pressing forward on attack. He's like, yeah. Pressing forward to the work rate and the physicality. He likes a bit the offside trap. Not bad. Or false nine, he's okay. But he likes the passing. I would probably have Liam Kemp off the bench as the backup striker for the year, because we lack one. And then have Mbolo coming in as well. It's probably where I'm going to end up. Because I think Mbolo, backstick, inside forward, could be really good. Now, we are scouting Savio, who's wanted for 11 mil, but he's not particularly as good too. We've got a lot of guys that we're scouting. So they're the sort of things that we're looking at, but we've got the money to spend. I kind of want to spend it, especially with having this much money. So, I think Brill and Barlow is the one, because I just think as an inside forward, he's quick, he's nippy, he's big boy, 6'2". Papapoli got super duper injured. He can play target man up top as well, or pressing forward. Get Kemp in on a free because it makes so much sense to just get him off the bench every game as a regular starter. And then all of a sudden you're looking at the squad and you're going, yeah, okay, you guys have got quite the team. And I think that makes Chavis not get as many minutes. But there's definitely a world where he does get some minutes. Joel Decker's still going to get minutes as well. So I think we're going to go with both options. But we'll wait and we'll see. So what we're going to do, YouTube, now is end this part of the episode here. I'm going to continue cleaning this morning, etc. as well, and we will come back with any sort of information regarding people coming in, is what we'll do. So that offer for Kemp's been accepted, so I wonder if he comes in. But I reckon that would be a pretty good signing. We'll just get through the scout report as well. I know I'm not live. I don't like doing business whilst not being live. But, yeah, and in terms of that, where else do you think we need in terms of the first-string boys? I'm happy with the left back. I'm happy with the backup bench, which is fine. As you can see with those guys, as it stands, with the bench and with the people coming in, I've got enough guys on the bench. I wonder if I got Van den Perry out, if that counts. Okay, it counts because I've got a free spot, so Van den Perry would need to still stay on the bench, which is fine. But we've got so many homegrown talent, which is perfect. I think we're in a really good spot. I honestly think that, getting Bolo in on the other side, our attack's deadly. We're going to probably win the league with that attack, and then know that we've got big boys that can do a job and be quite physically present at set pieces. And on top of that, get Campion off the bench as someone that's super duper quick and powerful. And I think we're sorted. I think that's the way we're going to go with it. And till I see you guys in a second, don't go anywhere, because I think that is going to be the way we come back to YouTube and announce what the team is going to look like with hopefully Kemp and Imbalo. Or is it Imbalo? Imbolo? Imbrello? Imbolo. It's Imbolo. It's Brill Imbolo. Guy I love in real life. I think we're going to go for him and see where we end up. Welcome back, YouTube. It's a day before we play the Westerlo game. And I'll tell you what, my transfer of business is done. We've come, we've conquered, and we've got exactly the guys that I needed to get in. And first thing I'm going to do is go to the squad, and Liam Kemp has officially joined on loan for free. Of course, after I bid for him, that everybody in the championship went for him. He's chosen to come to me. He will start my next game coming up. The only reason is that he's going to start is just to allow him to get a game under his belt, because the guy that we have signed to play right wing is a guy we know, and he's quite good on Football Manager, and he's coming from Napoli. Introducing Nicolas Pepe. That is correct. At 29 years of age, he has been transfer listed for 6.5 mil. He wanted a contract between 50 and 60k a week, and I was like, I can't really afford that. So I decided to give Napoli 6.75 mil and selling wage percentage of 35k. Which, for those that have never used those selling wage percentages, it's till the contract that he has at Napoli runs out. It was the highest that we could go, and Napoli said yes. So till 2027, they're paying 35k of his wage. He ended up taking a wage cut and coming for 37. That is correct. We have got him on for, if I think, that means I'm only paying like a couple of K for Pepe to actually be here. 7 mil being deducted, that's fine. Have a look at him. He's going to come in and play inside forward because he's that good. He gets the ball down the right, loves to have a dig from distance. Penalty taker as well, great technique, off the ball, flair, long shots, dribbling, pace, agility, acceleration. Nicolas Pepe, everybody. There you go. And that, as good as it gets, we get Nicolas Pepe through the door. Team register him right now. I need to turn off the automatic simming stuff. Sometimes 2 seconds is a little bit too whatever. We're just going to disable it for now for the rest of this episode so it stops clicking on me. I do like using it when I'm not live in order to go through stuff a little bit better. But yeah, Nicolas Pepe, there you go. Team register him straight away. Gets in, bang him in. Thank you very much. Kemp doesn't have to be registered because he's under 21. And that means we're done, ladies and gentlemen, because we are done. Like, your actual team will probably... It sounds bad, but Patrick's got to miss out off the bench because I need to keep enough people that are Belgium, I'm pretty sure. Like, if I was to put Patrick in over Van den Perry, it doesn't work. So we need to do that. But that's fine. But that's your business done. That is your best 11 that we have. And I'm just going to give that a quick little save. Save that as the 4-2-3-1. Look at that for a side. Your side would be, if everyone was fit and available, Van der Voort, Florenzi, Sadik, Katanec, and Machado, Christian Vodanenka, with Nicolas Pepe, Mateus Franco, who's, by the way, has just come in and scored a couple of goals in his first game back from the Olympics, Guyan, and Papa Pauli. Yeah, Liam Kemp, Owen and Decker as the three guys that can come in and change the game going forward. Vanden Perry has to be the guy in the middle of the park, and to be quite fair, he's defensively minded and can play centre-back. Jerklod's obviously counts. Fabio is learning to play as a right-back, and he looks fantastic at 16. And then, of course, you've got Eric Barley, who comes in as the centre-back. That is a quality first-string squad. Only thing that you would say in that squad is like, maybe Papapouli makes way for a bigger name striker in a year's time. Maybe not. It depends on how his year goes. And as much as Christian's homegrown, maybe he goes to the bench and you buy maybe a Belgium star centre mid coming in. You never know. We might find one. I wonder how old De Bruyne is. Probably can't get him, but would be nice to dream. In terms of what you've missed here, YouTube, one more game. We actually played Standard, who will be around the top of the table now. Usually I'll play these sort of big games live. Haven't decided to do that because it's so early on in the season. In the end, they went down to 10 men, and they're probably lucky it was only 3-0, and Frank has scored 2 goals in his first game back. In the end, they were quite dominant here, and I'll show you the goals, of course, as well. Boddart, who made a million saves, lets that one in, so poor, unlucky Boddart there. And then, some good build-up play. Ondanenko finds Frank, and a great tidy finish here. One on him. Keeper's come out, and he's found the inside of the post and in from there, which is fantastic. And then, very good build-up play to win the ball back from the corner. Papini involved off the bench as well. In the end, Papapouli holds up in the target man, and Frank is there. And that's why I actually think the target man this year, or target forward now as it's called, is quite the little role, which means that you've got your new side. The boys look good. If you go to the league table, I don't know why it always changes. We're on 12 points, won every game. We started scoring goals. And last 3 games, we kept 3 clean sheets. And I tell you what, I think we're going to have quite the little old season. Next episode is going to start with the Champions League group stage draw. And then from there, you will see group stage game number 1, match day 1 of the Champions League, as we embark in our first ever Champions League competition as a manager in the Journeyman. We're growing, we're getting there. The Continental Pro license is nearly here. And I tell you what, when I see you guys next time, it's going to be the Champions League. And I think this squad may get a say in how they go in the group. Because I tell you what, a good group draw, that team there will make it through. See you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye.